The town of Hollowmere sat at the bend of two rivers, where fog rolled thick each morning and bells from the chapel echoed like whispers through stone. Most people avoided the old eastern bridge that stretched across the darker river. Its timbers creaked, its iron chains groaned, and its stones seemed far too ancient to still be holding together. Children dared one another to run across it at night, but grown folk muttered charms and quickened their steps whenever they passed it. The bridge had a name, Ashen Span, but no one spoke it much anymore. They said it had been cursed since the war, when soldiers marched across and never returned. Some swore. You could still hear boots on the boards if you waited long enough at dusk. Clara, a bookbinder's daughter, didn't believe in curses. She had grown up with stories tangled into her life like the spines of old tomes, but she trusted her own eyes more than any tale. One fog late in evening, when her errands kept her later than usual, she found herself before the Ashen Span. The main road was flooded, and the only way home was across the bridge. She hesitated. Lantern light trembled in her hand, casting long, broken shadows. The boards looked slick, almost wet, though no rain had fallen. Clara tested the first plank it held. She walked on, her steps echoing louder than they should have. Halfway across, she noticed something odd. The fog on the far side wasn't drifting, but swirling, as though circling an unseen figure. She stopped, listening. The night was too quiet, no river rush, no insect hum, just her breath and the faint scrape of something moving in time with her heartbeat. Who's there? She called, her voice steadier than she felt. The fog parted. A soldier stood before her, uniform tattered, face pale, eyes dark as the river below. He raised a hand, not in threat, but in a strange, weary salute. Clara nearly dropped her lantern. "You're late," the soldier said, his voice hollow, yet clear as if he stood right beside her. Clara's knees locked. "Late for what?" The soldier pointed toward the far bank, where the swirling mist now glowed faintly with a silvery shimmer. Shapes emerged, dozens of them, men and women in faded armor, carrying banners with no color left, their footsteps pressing soundless upon the bridge. They didn't look at her. They marched past, one by one, their eyes fixed forward. As each passed, the bridge shuddered, groaned, but did not give way. The soldier allowed his hand and began to follow, but before he vanished into the glow, he looked back at her once more. "Tell them," he said, "we found the other side." The mist swallowed him. The light dimmed, and suddenly Clara was alone on the bridge, her lantern flickering weakly. The boards beneath her were damp, but steady. The river below gurgled again, as though nothing strange had happened at all. When she reached the far bank, the fog thinned, and Hollowmere lay quiet as always. Yet, Clara knew the story of the Ashen Span had changed forever, and she was now its keeper.